Fallen Empires got indirectly buffed in 4.3. Before, they were a walk in the park. Now they can solo kill the endgame crisis and conquer the entire galaxy if you're not prepared. So in this video I'm going to teach you how to fight them, and then I'm going to destroy all the Fallen Empires in my galaxy before they can even awaken, explaining the strategies in depth for your better understanding. Quick report from High Command before we dive deeper. Most of you watching aren't officially enlisted yet. If this run gives you ideas for your own games, subscribe and join our navy. As we have covered in a couple of other videos, Fallen Empires don't seem to have a clear weakness. They have the best components in the game, most of their ships are very well rounded, they also have the best ship types, the battlecruiser and escorts, and level 10 admirals on top of huge bonuses. However, through extensive research and testing, I have found out the best ways to destroy the Fallen Empires. First, we need to have neutron launchers and kinetic artillery. Those are a must-have. Second, we need to get more disengagement chance modifiers. These are important to mitigate your losses, since in most engagements the Fallen Empires will have close to zero losses and disengage very often. If you are not careful, we might get tricked thinking that we are winning the war, when instead we are losing ships whilst they are just retreating. Good sources of disengagement chances are psionic jump drives and the hit and run war doctrine. You could also look for a trickster admiral, it's very easy to find. Now with all of these prerequisites completed, we move on to our ship designs. Mechanical ships, you go with our neutron cruiser design. 1 kinetic artillery, 2 neutron launchers. These will melt their battle cruisers at long range, 1 autocannon and 3 plasma launchers. These will help fighting their escorts at close range. Defensive components, run a mix of 3 armor and 3 shields. You can't go wrong with this. Not enough power, just change 1 shield to an armor. Auxiliary slots, you go for 3 auxiliary fire controls, of course artillery combat computer as well. Bioships, you go with our Harbinger-Stinger fleet design. The Harbingers will be filled with neutron launchers. For defensive components, go with mostly armor and field as many shields you can. Normally that's going to be only 1 or 2 due to the massive power cost of neutron launchers. Run 3 auxiliary fire controls and also the artillery combat computer. The Stingers will be filled with giga cannons and kinetic artillery. If you don't have giga cannons yet, just change the section to have 12 L slots instead of 4L and 4X. For the defensive components and the auxiliary slots, follow the same Harbinger design. 3 auxiliary fire control systems, artillery combat computer, and run as many shields as your regular power allows. You should follow a ratio of 5 Harbingers for every 1 Stinger, it's proven to be the best. If you want the full breakdown on why this composition works, we covered it in our complete bioship guide. Now, these are the designs against regular Fallen Empires. Against the Hive Fallen Empire, we have a much more complex strategy that I'm going to show you in our gameplay section later. So after you set your templates, you will start building up your fleets. While your fleets are building, start mass producing armies. Hold control on your starbase to kill 5 at once. Fallen Empire worlds have massive garrisons, so if you show up without ground forces, you win the space battle and then sit there for years waiting to occupy a single planet. Build the armies now so they are ready when you need them. Keep creating them non-stop until you're ready to engage. Another thing you can do in the meantime is run the Oppose the Fallen agenda. It's from the Statecraft tradition tree, and once launched, it gives plus 25% damage against the Fallen Empires. You can also grab the Galactic Contender Ascension perk for another plus 33% damage. In our run, we are going without this Ascension perk and still managing to beat all of them very comfortably. Therefore, it's not such a prerequisite, but rather a nice bonus if you are struggling to defeat them. Once the agenda is ready, you can leave it there and launch only when you are set to attack. I recommend you preemptively move your fleets close to their systems. You have have sensor range of their ships. You know where they are going, and you can try to attack their fleets once they leave their territory. Fallen Empires have strong starbases, so fighting their fleets plus their starbases is nonsense. Once they make a mistake, you attack their fleet, they will likely retreat. If your ships are still healthy, I recommend you keep pushing. Attack their starbases and try to look for which system their ships retreated. If you can attack their fleet after they retreated, they are going to suffer massive casualties since they are still recharging their emergency FTL drives. So now that we have the ship designs, the setup, and the overall war strategy, let me show you in a real gameplay how we destroyed all the Fallen Empires, including the Hive 1, in the Grand Admiral difficulty before the endgame date. I'll be explaining a lot of these strategies in depth so you can really grasp these concepts and apply in your own games. So let's begin. So to start things off, let's look out for which types of Fallen Empires we have in our galaxy at the moment. We're gonna go and have only Fallen Empires. We have knowledge about 2 of them. These are the Xenophiles and these are the Materialists. Now the Materialists, they are pretty much hating us already because we are fanatic spiritualists on top of going the Cosmogenesis route. So the first one we are gonna attack is gonna be these fellas. They are located right here, not very far away from one of our vassals, and thankfully we have clear way to send our fleets nearby their stations. Now for our ship design, since we are running bioships and psionics, we have one of the best classes, which is the Elder Harbingers with the Zropods. Zropods not only have shield penetration, but they also deal much more damage than the neutron launchers. As you can see, it deals pretty much double the amount of damage. It is ridiculous. The other components, they are kind of okay. We also have the precognitive combat instincts, which give us more tracking, and we also can research the psionics jump drives, which are gonna give us +1 disengagement opportunities. And as you may know, disengagement opportunity, it is crucial to fighting the Fallen Empires, so we don't lose a lot of ships. Now, since you are planning on declaring war on the Fallen Empires, and we only have 2,000 worth of armies, we are gonna construct a lot of them. How we're gonna do that? We're gonna go here, and let's build, have 9 planets in that sector, so we can build like 9 of them. That's gonna be 45 armies for us. Alright, we finished exploring the Shroud technologies, and we got 50% progress towards the jump drives. That's precisely the component that we wanted. As you can see, it gave us +2 disengagement opportunities. That's very nice. Unfortunately, this will speed up the crisis in 25 years, so the crisis will appear a little bit sooner because we have this technology. But anyway, we are very strong so far. I believe that we can take the 25 times crisis with no problem. We already have 8,000 worth of armies just from that construction, but we need more. We're gonna build another batch of them so that we can just rest assured that we are gonna be able to defeat the Fallen Empires. We also need to move in quick because we have 8 more years on the Oppose the Fallen agenda, which is giving us 25% damage against them. So what we're gonna do, we are gonna already send into position our 2 fleets. We only have 2 fleets, we're not that strong in the moment, but this is more than enough to take out the Fallen Empires without any trouble. So let's buy a relic, Aesthetic Wonders, Gavel of the Tribunal, or the Tianqi Matriarch Nerve Core. Wow, this one does not look good for us. For a Space Fauna build, that must be amazing to have. So we're gonna go with the Lesser Evil, the option that just gave us a little bit of diplomatic weight, not like we need any at the moment. Right, and now that we have our psionic jump drives, let's move into position because we can jump with a pretty large range. It is one of the best jump drives in the game, and once we are close to their systems and know precisely where their ships are, we're gonna declare war. Let's delve into the Shroud. Let's see if there is anything good for us. We must find out. Psionic Bombardment. Is that gonna be the strike craft? Yes. Alright, that makes sense. Let's start immediately research them. This would be another huge buff for our Harbingers, but we can't wait any longer. We gotta move into position. Only 7 years remaining. Our armies are already pretty strong, 11,000, and we are getting close to their borders. Yes, so since we are gonna declare war on multiple Fallen Empires, I am expecting that we suffer some casualties, and we also are expanding our naval capacity very well. We do have a lot of resources remaining, so what I'm gonna do is build up even more fleets. I'm gonna obviously wait until we have the psionic bombers technology, but we are gonna create more Harbinger and Stinger fleets. Ideally, I wanna have at least 10 of these fleets in order to fight the 25 times crisis. That would be very, very good. Let's jump both of our fleets at the moment here, right next to their systems. Let's see where their ships are. They are here. 500,000 worth of battle cruisers and escorts, which is a very large number. We have less than half of their fleet power, commanders, but we are still gonna pull this through. So let's go ahead, claim their capital system, because that's the system that we mainly want. We're also gonna activate all of our war edicts, so that we improve our weapons damage a little bit further. Now we are at 400,000 fleet power. We're gonna go and declare war to conquer and claim. Let's already send in our ships here. Let's see if they're gonna move. Where are they gonna move their ships? Okay, they are moving inside our borders. Thankfully, this is a very weak system, as you can see. It has a very weak starbase. What we're gonna do is, we have a lot of maulers. Our maulers are specialized in close range combat, so we're gonna put our maulers here, right next to the hyperlane. Once they jump to our systems, we're gonna obliterate them at close range. Alright. Hostile station engage, where? Okay, we already instantly destroyed their starbase, amazing. We're gonna move a little bit further because those ships are terrible at close range. Now we're gonna just wait them here. They are arriving. Our maulers already obliterated them. Let's see the actual numbers. So we lost 36 Elder Maulers, they lost 3 escorts, which is not that great for us, but in terms of war exhaustion we are tit for 2. Now, they are gonna retreat their ships, probably to their main system, the capital. What we are gonna do next is just rush that to get as quickly as possible. If we can manage to get there before they do, we are gonna get them off guard. Let's continue to destroy everything. Long range weapons, destroyed their starbase. Now move to their capital system. Alright, now instantly conquered the starbase. So they retreated to this system instead, not the capital. We're not gonna waste a single minute, we're just gonna go back there and try to defeat them again. But they are regenerating already. That's bad, we couldn't get there in time. Let's bait them out a little bit. We're gonna send our maulers here. Now, that is very interesting. So, the AI this time, they prefer to leave their capital. We do have 16,000 worth of armies, so we can just, with the jump drives, can just go to that system and invade the planet, because they have only 3,000. They are constructing more armies, but that's not gonna be enough. Now, we're gonna send all of these bad boys there. Meanwhile, we are keeping an eye on their fleets. They are sending in here. This system, very long name. They are probably gonna go here, here, and try to save their capital. But we are prepared to do that. Let's send our maulers there and send our fleets there as well. Long range ones. Alright, precisely what we were expecting. They are sending their ships to the Swur system while we already have our maulers. And we are gonna put our ships in position as well. Now, one thing that I forgot to do, and that is completely my fault, commanders. I forgot to get the hit and run tactics. This is going to give us 2 disengagement opportunities. Perhaps that was the reason that we lost so many ships in the first engagement. But this time, let's see how we fare. Alright, we lost a lot of maulers and they also lost some of their ships, but that is okay. Now they're probably going to retreat to the same system. We're going to go back there and attack them. Now, since we also finished the psionic bombers technology, we are going to retrofit our Harbingers to have the psionic sapers. Very good ones. Unfortunately, we do not have the energy, so we are gonna remove the psionic shields and get just another large neutronium carapace. Once we have the dark matter reactor, we can get some shields back up and running to our ships. Now let's attack them here. Should be an easy win. Yeah, instant win for us. Where their ships are. Now they retreated to the other system, so let's go back and try to defeat them. Now this is a tough system because they have a deep space citadel, so we're gonna avoid that system actually. And keep in mind, commanders, this is the best design, the Mauler design. It isn't meant to fight the fallen empires. That's why we suffered so many heavy casualties with our Mauler fleet, whereas our design fleet, we have still full capacity, nothing lost here, and they are pretty much all at full HP as well. So they made the huge mistake, they moved in their ships, however they moved in their ships half powered, so they suffered some hull damage, and they're also spending a lot of resources trying to defeat the starbase. Look how slow the starbase dies, it's surviving a lot of time. Alright, now we have arrived, and this will be an instant win. You're gonna see, commanders. And bam, they just instantly surrendered at commanders. We didn't lose a single ship from our main force, not a single vessel. Look, yeah, we lost some defensive stations there, but they got obliterated, completely obliterated. Okay, now that all of our ships are upgraded with the psionic bombers, let's move them into position to attack, this time, the Xenophile Fallen Empire. Alright, so the Xenophile Fallen Empire that we are just planning to attack, they are trying to bully us. Of course, we are not gonna be bullied. As a matter of fact, we are gonna bully you. So let's claim their capital system once again. Now that we are in position, let's go ahead and declare war to conquer claim.
We fly to war.
And let's delve into the Shroud as well. Let's hope that the Shroud has some good combat bonuses for us. Oh, isn't this the Eater of Worlds or something like that? Yes. Unfortunately, there is a cosmic storm that is completely blocking our scanners. So we're gonna move in blind, which is terrible. It's a terrible thing to do.
Hostile station engaged.
But if we don't do that, we're not gonna proceed in the war. That is terrible, commanders. We got screwed. How are they attacking us from behind, though? We were just in the system and they appeared out of the nowhere, in close range with us, which is their specialty because they have a lot of escorts. We are in a tough situation. We're gonna activate this edict. Now let's see how we fare in the worst case scenario against a Fallen Empire that has almost twice our fleet power. It is looking tough. We still haven't lost a single ship though. All of our ships that are disengaging when they get low, as you can see, have way too much disengagement chance. During the fight, we lost one defensive platform, which was in the system, but they lost 10 escorts and 7 out of 8 battlecruisers commanders, and that was in a close range combat, which is our worst case scenario. We still managed to destroy all of them without a single loss. We didn't lose a single ship. That is the power of our tactics and the power of our ship designs combined with our extra disengagement chances, because with this they aren't able to destroy our ships even though we get very low on the hull. So let's jump into their capital. Let's not waste any time. Even if there are some deep space citadels, we are most likely gonna explode everything. Look, yet another win without any loss. Now let's get our 15,000 army strength, land on Cradle. They have 6,000 only. Should be yet another quick win for us. Now the Fallen Empires made a huge mistake. They are moving in to attack our recently conquered planet from the other Fallen Empire, but we have the astral jump action, which immediately jumps our ships without any type of debuff as long as we jump into our own system. I'm only gonna do that once their fleets are in position, otherwise they're gonna retreat and you're not gonna be able to catch them. There they are, attacking us with just this ridiculous 8 ship fleet. Let's go ahead, jump right into their heads. And goodbye. Okay, the Xenophile Fallen Empire surrendered. They left with only one escort out of all the fleets that they had before, and we conquered all the Fallen Empire worlds that we wanted, their most developed planets. Now, the only Fallen Empire left for us to conquer is the Hive Fallen Empire. Only have an idea of where they might be, but we have no confirmations. Because if you look at this at the victory score, there are 3 Fallen Empires that are stronger than us, which must be only the modules, like the nodes. I think they're here, right? They should be. So let's move a little bit closer. We could even use our jump drives to a nearby system. Let's do something even better. We're gonna only have one soldier. Yes, we're gonna jump one soldier because if it goes missing in action, we are only gonna lose only one transport ship. Not such a big deal.
New truth have been revealed.
There we go, alien scum. Now we have access to their systems. We're gonna jump here, last fought. Okay, so we jumped our fleet to the War Splinter for the last fought. We're obviously not gonna go for emergency FTL. We are here to obliterate them, so we will not leave. We will have your secrets. Wow, that is a lot of beings here. And we just came out of emergency FTL, so we have quite a lot of debuffs to our weapons damage and sublight speed, but since these fleets are not all well optimized at all, I think we have a pretty good chance of surviving this encounter. Oh, they are not engaging us, so I guess we can take one at a time. Oh, but our titans jumped in and they are engaging. I guess we gotta engage them anyways. Very easy win so far. We destroyed everyone, we didn't lose a single ship. And the good part about bioships is that we can just stick around and our ships will slowly repair themselves. Now against the Hive Fallen Empire commanders, our main problem is gonna be the Ancient Maulers. These guys are extremely, extremely dangerous. We do not want to mess with them. However, the other ones, especially the Weavers, are very easy to take out. So our plan right now is gonna take one splinter at a time. We're not gonna try to take them all at once. And we're also gonna wait a little bit until we can have the jump drives, repair our ships a little bit. Because do not want to engage them without being able to retreat. Okay, now that we are in position, everything is repaired, the jumps are back online. We are gonna claim one of their systems. Let's first declare rivalry, of course, so the claim cost is a little bit lower, and then we're gonna declare war. They are even patronizing us, which is kinda weird. Let's see what they're gonna do with their Mauler fleet. They are moving. Ah, that is interesting. So they are moving to this system because they are gonna attack us. Their Weaver fleets are standing still, but we want to destroy their Mauler fleet. So perhaps we're gonna declare war to the Phoenix Imperium and go for make a tributary. This way we have access to their borders. Let's see their Maulers. We're also gonna move there. Let's wait. Now their Maulers are going. Wait. So they are engaging us before we can go there. They're sending in their Harbinger fleets. Alright, let's see if we can activate our military applications. This time we're gonna go for the weak point analysis. Now, one quick note here, commanders. If you are running neutron launchers instead of bioships, what I recommend you do against them is, for the Harbinger designs, you're gonna run mostly shields because they have terrible damage against shields, and you're gonna run pretty much energy weapons. So yes, you run plasma launchers and you run neutron launchers in your cruisers to try to defeat them. You can even replace the kinetic artillery for the large plasma launcher if you want to, and you go for auxiliary fire controls because it's gonna improve your chance to hit. Now, against their Mauler fleets, which are these ones, you do not want to go for shields. You're gonna go for armor strictly for your neutron cruisers because they have a lot of armor penetration. So on top of that, you go for the afterburners in the auxiliary slots, because if the Maulers they get in close range of your cruisers are gonna be melted. So the afterburners are meant to keep your neutron cruisers further away from their Mauler fleet. Now let's see how the engagement fares with our Harbinger fleets against theirs. That is extremely bad. So our Harbinger fleet jumped and our Titan fleet was left behind. Now, our Titans have no way of defeating them, by the way. No way at all. Okay, but thankfully we managed to send our Harbinger fleet back in time. So let's go. Should be a quick win for us. Let's see. This time we lost 3 Elder Harbingers, which is terrible for us. They dealt a lot of damage through their neutron throwers. Because their designs are even better against ours, we have only armor, so we counter each other off. If you have neutron cruisers, this battle would have been a lot better for you, Commander, because you would have shields, whereas we don't. So now let's engage their Mauler fleet. Let's see if our designs will be able to take them down. We are focusing on their stations, which is terrible. Now we should divert our focus towards their small fleet. Look, we are retreating everything. We are not losing a single ship, which is precisely what our designs are meant to do, though. We are kiting them a little bit, even away from the screen. One fleet missing in action. The other fleet as well. But look, commanders, this is precisely what we were planning against. We didn't lose a single ship because of our disengagement chance, whereas they lost 15 of their ancient Maulers, which they cannot rebuild because Fallen Empires, they are stuck with the amount of ships that they have. So, the war of attrition, we are gonna win this just because we have more disengagement chances. And as you can see, our fleets are not even gonna take that long to come back home, only around 5 months. Okay, so as predicted, they split up their fleets. 2 of their fleets are engaging the Font of Knowledge, whereas their Mauler fleet is left alone here, and they are even damaged. Yeah, look, oh my god. This time we completely annihilated them, destroyed pretty much all of their ancient Maulers and almost all of their juvenile Weavers. Now we can use the astral jump to go and fight the other ships that are orbital bombarding our world. They also didn't repair their Harbingers, which means we are in the perfect position here, commanders. Let's see. We arrived, already destroyed one of their ships, and now moving to strike the other one. As you can see, we destroyed all of their ships once again. 40 Ancient Weavers, 19 Juveniles, Ancient Harbingers and Juvenile Weavers destroyed as well. This is just a massacre, commanders, an obliteration of all of their forces. Well, now that we destroyed all of their ships, as you can see, they're pathetic. All of the splinters are pathetic. So we destroyed all of the fallen empires in the galaxy with pretty much just one fleet, right? Only one fleet of Elder Harbingers plus Stingers was more than enough for all fallen empires, and we only lost 3 Harbingers. Yes, 3 Harbingers was all it took. We did have some Elder Maulers that were destroyed, but Maulers, they are not meant to fight the fallen empires anyways. They were just here because we have them from the early game that we managed to vassalize the half the galaxy. So we vassalized the galaxy with our Elder Maulers, but now in the late game we used our Elder Stinger composition and with the Harbingers to ensure a galactic victory. So before the end game date, we already dominated everything. We don't even have the Galactic Contender Ascension perk, and we didn't even use the Oppose the Fallen agenda in order to take the Hive Empire, which is pretty much the strongest fallen empire in the game at the moment. So yeah, commanders, our tactics here are immensely powerful. Please use the hit and run tactics with the disengagement opportunities. As you could see, we lost the battle on Chigris. They were annihilating our ships, however all of our ships retreated. We didn't lose a single Harbinger, whereas they suffered heavy casualties for their Maulers. So even though they won the engagement, we just came back here with full strength, whilst they didn't even repair their ships, and we managed to successfully beat them off. So yeah, commanders, I hope you guys enjoyed this video on how to defeat the fallen empires, this time with actual gameplay footage. If you guys have any questions whatsoever, feel free to leave it in the comments down below. And as always, commanders, I'll see you guys next time.